Hi guys, so Labour MP for Hackney and close ally of Jeremy Corbyn, Diane Abbot, was interviewed on Sky News about quote-unquote long Corbyn and the disastrous results in the country for the Labour Party and Hartlepool in particular. Now, she's going to go on and say that it wasn't the fault of the policies, it was, well, what? Let's hear what she had to say.
I've spoken to Peter Mandelson over the last few days. He, of course, the former Hartlepool MP, you were talking earlier about the disappointing result in Hartlepool. He says Jeremy Corbyn is still casting a dark cloud. He's largely responsible for some of the losses that we've seen. Do you accept that long Corbyn, if you like, is affecting Labour's chances still?
I love this expression, long Corbyn. I think it's a little bit unfair to blame Jeremy Corbyn here because Jeremy Corbyn didn't really stop the rot. The rot had begun before Corbyn, and he didn't actually do anything really to stop it, and this is the culmination of that. What I mean by that is that the support for the Labour Party in Hartlepool was already declining before Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the Labour Party, and it continued to decline until the culmination of the Labour MP being kicked out last week and being replaced with someone who doesn't spend any time in Hartlepool and seems to spend a considerable amount of time in the Cayman Islands. This is the type of person that a working class constituency voted for. But let's hear what Diane Abbot had to say.
Well, we won Hartlepool twice under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, and importantly with a bigger proportion of the vote.
Okay, this is a typical argument from the Labour left. Yes, we won the vote in 2019, for example. Jeremy Corbyn won the seat. But the problem with that argument is that the vote on the right was split between the Conservatives and the Brexit Party in 2019. So in a way, the Brexit Party helped the Labour Party to hold on to that seat. Now, if the Brexit Party hadn't fielded a candidate in 2019, it's highly likely, but not guaranteed, it's likely that that seat would have switched to the Conservatives. Now, that would have been under Jeremy Corbyn's leadership. Fortunately for him at the time, there was the Brexit Party that split the vote between the Conservatives and itself, and that helped the Labour Party. Now, in 2021, that wasn't the case. The Brexit Party did not have a candidate, or they didn't pick up any support whatsoever, and the support they had from 2019 switched to the Conservative Party, and that resulted in the Conservatives winning that seat. So you can't, in a sense, you can say, well, it wasn't, Jeremy Corbyn held the seat. Yes, but it's not to let him off the hook either, because, as I said before, the rot had already begun.
I mean, you can't say that Jeremy is responsible for the Hartlepool result. The disaffection in post-industrial Britain long predates Jeremy's leadership, and we have to look at the roots of it.
But he didn't do anything to stop it. That's the problem.
Let's talk a little bit about Keir Starmer and what he needs to do, in your view, going forward. You talked a bit about policy. Do you think that there is a wider strategy issue that Keir Starmer needs to do, talking a bit more about his vision? John McDonnell, for example, saying that some of those candidates were sent out naked with no vision, no policies. Is that something that you would agree with?
I think that Keir Starmer needs to go back to what he said when he was elected as leader, and he wants to build, yes, on some of the policies which we were talking about in 2019. It is important that candidates can talk about the Labour Party's vision and talk about our policies.
What vision? That's the problem. It's important that they can talk about the Labour Party's vision. Okay, but Diane, what is the vision? We haven't heard any vision. We haven't heard a single unifying goal. It's pointless talking about policies if you don't actually have a vision. You can say, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do 100 different things. But if you don't have one unifying vision, one unifying goal, then it's just confused. And unfortunately, the average voter doesn't have the time to look at every individual policy. I think a lot of the policies were really good, but the average voter doesn't have the time to go through policy by policy and say, yeah, this one I like, this one I don't like, and sum it up and, you know, tally it up and say, this, on the whole, I prefer these policies. I prefer this party because of the policies. People, unfortunately, today do not vote for parties based on the policies. It's a real bugbear of mine. I really wish people would actually vote for parties based on the policies, but generally people don't do that. They vote for candidates, they vote for messages, they vote for goals and visions. The Conservative Party have put Brexit as their front and centre. That's their objective, that's their goal. Getting Brexit done. That's what won them the election in 2019. There wasn't really any policies, it was just get Brexit done. That slogan, that vision, if you want to call it. What is the Labour Party's vision? I think it should be lifting up the working class, supporting the working class, defending the working class, making life for people at the bottom better. But that doesn't seem to be the vision at the moment. And if you don't have a vision, then why would people come out and vote for you?
Is it right that Angel Raynor should lose her job as party chair?
I said earlier, I think it's baffling why he sacked Angela Raynor. She didn't take any of the big decisions around Hartlepool. And we've not heard anywhere in the country people saying they didn't vote Labour because of Angela Raynor.
Okay, I don't know the reason fully why Angela Raynor was fired either, but it could be because she was a threat to his position. Or some say that she was not loyal to Keir Starmer. And there's a possibility that the next in line for the sack could be Lisa Nandy, who has, it seems, been critical of Keir Starmer. So Starmer may have a bunker mentality here, where he's afraid of people criticizing him and what he would see as undermining him, and he wants to push them as far away as possible. I think this is a distraction in a way, because the problem going forward is the Labour Party need to have a clear vision. They don't have that.
What do you think it says about Keir Starmer's leadership if the first thing that he does is to reach out and sack Angela Raynor, who of course is a working class woman? She's from the north. Some people would say that she is the kind of person that you need to reconnect in some of the areas that you lost.
I think it's puzzling to sack Angela Raynor, and it really is unfair to have her take.
Okay, we have a technical issue.
I think we have lost the line there to Diane Abbot. Oh no, you're back. Good news. Excellent. Is the party too London-centric? I know you're a London MP yourself, of course, so it might be a bit of a difficult question to answer. But there has been criticism for the current Labour Party for being too metropolitan, too London-centric, not reaching out to the towns and the more traditional areas of the United Kingdom that Labour's traditionally done well in.
I don't accept that at all. I'm a East London MP. I'm speaking to you from East London, and we have as much child poverty as anywhere else in the country. We have very large numbers of blue-collar workers. I think it's in many ways an artificial distinction between so-called London elites and the rest of the country. What we need to do is bring together Hackney and Hartlepool in policies which speak to the issues that both types of Labour supporter have in common.
Not Labour supporter, voter. We don't give a crap about Labour supporters. We care about voters. You need to bring voters together. Now, maybe it was a slip of the tongue here. She meant to say voters. I hope it was. You need to reach out to voters, not supporters. Supporters already vote for you. It's the voters that you need to reach out to. But as I said before, the Labour Party need a vision. And I think I agree with Diane Abbot here, where she says, there isn't an issue of the London elite or whatever. This is something that is being presented in the media. The Labour Party need to counter that if it's a narrative that is burrowing its way into people's minds. It's not real, but if people believe it, it in a sense becomes real, because that's how they vote. I think it's very important for the Labour Party to get back to its roots, to say, look, we are the party of the working class. Boris Johnson has, I don't know how, but has in some way convinced the public that he is the champion of the working class. The guy who went to Eton, the guy who allegedly burnt a £50 note in front of a homeless person to get into an elite club. This is the guy who the working class think is on his side. The Labour Party need to counter that by presenting themselves as the champion of the working class. Organise protests against big businesses that are firing and hiring people. Organise protests against businesses that are laying people off, that are pushing for more gig economy work. Destroying the working class, destroying the working poor. I think they should really take a leaf out of the book of Bernie Sanders in the United States. Organize, get your message out there, become the leader, the representative of the working class, because they are the majority. They are the ones who will vote if they believe you're on their side. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?